Court does call the case of People State of Michigan versus Peter Henan.
Nicole, you on behalf of the people.
Right here.
Nope. So, other side.
Sir.
There you go. Go ahead, counsel.
Good afternoon, Judge. Jackie Mosfor, and on behalf of Mr. Henan, who is present to my right.
And John Shea.
All right. Okay, Mr. Henan, and the record should reflect just briefly set it out that while we were waiting for the courtroom change, I had a bench conference with counsel, and given those discussions, Mr. Henan was, prior to calling his case, sent over to Community Corrections to obtain a strand tether and also to take a full panel drug test. Went over, did that, came back a 0.10 on a PBT, could not have the strand tether put on because of that. And also came back in terms of his drug testing with a possible dilution in terms of the creatinine level. Came back positive for benzos, and came back for positives on benzos. Sir, you take Zoloft?
I do, sir.
All right. How long have you had that prescription?
Just started last night. I've taken it before, but I was in jail for 6 days, so I had to stop. And so then I started again. Sorry. The new script is from 2 days ago. Sorry.
Hold on. You got a prescription for Zoloft 2 days ago?
Yes, Your Honor. I did. So rehab, I was in treatment, and they gave me a packet of Zoloft. So I've been using that, but I needed more. So I called my primary care doctor, and he prescribed, I think, 30.
Okay, you had that prescription filled.
Yes, Your Honor. And
So,
delivered.
hold on. I just need to back up for a moment because I'm trying to find out where you are right now and have a greater understanding. You were in rehab. When did you get out of rehab?
May 12th, I believe.
Okay. And when you got out of rehab, you had Zoloft.
Yes, they send you home with a 30-day supply.
And so at some point, then you ran out.
No, I still have some, but I needed to call my doctor anyway and tell him about this. And so I asked for a refill.
Okay. All right. Where were you in treatment?
West Palm Beach in it's called Hanley. It's a very good treatment center.
To what?
A very, very good treatment center.
How long were you there?
I was originally 30 days, but I extended to 45 voluntarily.
Was there aftercare that was to follow that?
There was. So I have a therapist. The University of Michigan IOP can't take me for 6 months because I missed an appointment, and
because you missed an appointment with them.
Yes, and that's their policy.
Yeah. So since you missed that, have you been doing anything? Because you were supposed to go and do intensive outpatient.
Yes.
Right. So at the point that you're supposed to go into intensive outpatient, you find out that you can't get in at U of M. What do you do?
So I have SoberLink, and my kids have a GAL. So I'm required to do multiple AA meetings a day.
Okay, but I get that. But in terms of an IOP, I mean, oh, sorry. But just, go ahead if you want to talk.
Oh, I've reached out to Brighton. They have an IOP program. It's on Zoom now. And I
You
think
get enrolled?
I can.
Well, no. Here's what I'm trying to figure out. All right. And so I'm asking you these questions for a reason. I'm not asking you to try to trick you into anything. I'm just trying to figure out, like I said, where you are.
Sure.
So you get out of treatment. Part of the aftercare on the treatment program that you're in is that you were supposed to get yourself into an IOP, right?
Your Honor, that was part of the condition. Also the sober link and one AA meeting a day.
Hold on. On whose condition?
Oh, the treatment center's recommendation.
Okay. You got me a little bit lost here. You go into the treatment center in Florida. You come out. They're basically, upon discharging you or releasing you from that, they're putting into place or give you a plan, an aftercare plan, right?
Yep.
Part of that aftercare plan was you were to get yourself into intensive outpatient treatment,
Yes, Your Honor.
right? Their recommendation was something here local at University of Michigan, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were supposed to call them, but miss that somehow and or another. And then, as per their policy, you can't get in for a while.
6 months.
Right. After all that happens, what do you do instead of, I don't want to put it that way. What do you then do? Nothing? You didn't get yourself into any type of treatment program, is that right?
I found a therapist and no, I did not find an IOP. Your Honor.
Okay. Let me just ask you, and I won't hold you to it only because I know you've been drinking, but why didn't you do that? Honest answer.
Sometimes I feel like AA is more effective because I've done an IOP program before and it's on Zoom. And sometimes I feel like AA and SoberLink is more helpful, especially in person AA.
Okay. Not yelling at you, but I'm just going to tell you, if you could figure it out yourself, you wouldn't be in the position that you're in right now, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If it went just on your feelings of what you thought was best, we wouldn't be here dealing with this part of this, would we?
Yes, Your Honor.
So that's why you have other people kind of guide you as to what you really need to do. I also have a feeling that the program that you laid out for yourself, while you think effective, is actually just easier than doing the IOP because an IOP can be difficult.
I desperately wanted that Michigan ILP 9 to 1, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I just screwed it up.
Right. But then you also then didn't put anything in place once you had messed up.
Right.
And in fact, if you're going to be honest about it, the stuff that you put in place was just easier stuff so that you could say you're doing something.
That's fair, Your Honor.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it for a while. And that's why you weren't going to go into the IOP.
It was the easier path.
Yeah. All right. Mr. Henan, let me ask you this. You blew a 1-0. When did you stop drinking? When's the last time you had a drink?
So about 4, I woke up and my hands were shaking. So I drank some high noon. And then at
How
7,
much high noon did you have?
just enough till my hands stopped shaking.
Okay, what's that? Tell me what that means.
Like for me, it's like 4 to 6. And then at 7 this morning, when the liquor stores open, I had a DoorDash delivery of more high noon. And I drank again until my hands stopped shaking.
And how much did you have that time?
Your Honor, honestly, I just kept drinking until my hands stopped shaking. It was a 4-pack.
Okay, it was a 4-pack.
High noon comes in 4-pack.
Right. And so did you drink them all?
Oh yeah,
Okay. And how long did that take you?
I chugged.
Okay. So that DoorDash delivery at 7, that was the last you had?
Yes, and my hands were shaking, so I've got a bunch of empties, and this is how desperate I was. I would pick up all the empties on my table and see if there were sips. And there was one that was like that full, and I chugged that as well. It wasn't.
What? Hold on.
Sorry.
What time did you do that?
It was between 7 and 8 because I knew I had this coming.
Okay.
I didn't want to come in under the influence.
So at 8 o'clock, from 8 o'clock till I don't know what time we first called your case. Well, when you went over to community corrections, so that was around 3 o'clock, maybe somewhere around there. Between 8 and 3, did you have anything to drink?
No, Your Honor. It was 2:30 at community corrections.
Okay, at 2:30. But so when you chug that half to 2:30, you didn't have anything to drink.
No, Your Honor. Last night I drank quite a bit though. Basically I lost my boys in a dispute, and I've been on a bender.
Okay. So, Mr. Henan, I'm just trying to, like I said, I'm trying to figure out where you are. I'm trying to, when you say you've been on a bender, what were you drinking the night before and how much?
White Claw. I drank, gosh, probably 15.
Okay. And that would have been last night sometime. When you say that you stopped about 4, you said, or something like that?
I woke up at 4.
You woke up at 4. So yesterday you were drinking White Claw. You had about 15
Yes, Your Honor.
for over just that day, that evening.
All day. Yeah.
Okay. And at some point you stopped drinking. Either you passed out or you just stopped.
Yeah. No, I
You
felt
probably passed out.
passed out, Your Honor.
Yeah. And then you woke up at 4.
Yep.
And then you needed something else.
Yeah, my hands were
Right. I get why. But you needed something else, and that's when you got the other stuff. Or you already had that.
I already had it.
Okay.
I White Claw and High Noon. I usually when I'm sober, I'm a fit person. I run marathons and stuff. So High Noon and White Claw are the lowest calorie drinks.
Okay. And so then you switched to the high noon and you did that, right?
Chugged them.
You're Heenan. Do you think you're in trouble? I mean, just not with the court. I'm not talking about with the court, but just with you and your sobriety.
I do. I have 16 years of sobriety. So I know I can do it. I'm just having a hard time right now with this divorce and losing the kids. and just life is hard right now. No, I had to resign my job I loved. And it's just been a rough.
Okay, so right now you're also not working.
I had to resign to go to treatment.
All right. So here's what I'm just gonna let you know that you're gonna be staying at the Washington County Jail, temporarily revoke your bond. Okay. Now, I'm not doing that necessarily as a punishment, but I have no way to release you and keep the community nor you safe. Okay. And I'll just ask you this. You're going to come back tomorrow. Okay. And I'm going to set that for 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. When you come back, and I may ask you this tomorrow, but I want to know right now, what would you like to see happen right now for you?
I would like it to scram tether and start taking antabuse.
Okay, Mr. Henan, is that what you really would like to see happen?
I need some accountability, yes.
Okay, but you also need some help.
Right. I agree. I do have a sponsor. I
Have you called your sponsor? No, you haven't. Hold it. Answer my question. Have you called your sponsor?
No, I was too embarrassed.
Yeah. And the reason that you want the scram and the antabuse is because those are sort of easy things that I can do out of sight. Okay. You don't have to answer that.
Okay.
Okay, because I know what's going on. I've been doing this a minute. Okay. Between now and tomorrow morning, here's the thing that you're going to have to do. You're going to need to do the hard work. This isn't going to be easy. And you have to get in your head, because you've done it before, but you have to get in your head that there's not going to be an easy path. This is going to be a hard path for you. And I think you really do know that inside. You just don't want it to come out. People don't come to me whenever they're before me and ask me, give me a hard way to go, Judge. They don't do that, right? So I'm not expecting you to necessarily say that to me. I'm just telling you, this isn't going to be this easy path, this shortcut. And you got to wrap your head around that, right? You just have to understand that. So we're going to try to get something in place for you, because I put it this way. If I let you out right now, you don't make it through the night without drinking. And you know that.
Not with the scram.
I could put that scream on you. You're going to drink.
I spent.
No, you're going to drink.
Okay.
That scram is not a magic bullet. It's not going to stop you. The only thing that scram is going to do, quite frankly, where you are, the only thing the scram is going to do is just tell on you. It's not going to stop you from drinking. Realize that you pounded down 15 White Claws, and then you did 4, then that wasn't enough, and you had to call somebody to bring you more alcohol. Do you think a thing around your ankle is going to stop you after that? No, it's not.
Jail was really hard for me.
I know.
So that alone would stop me.
For a while.
I understand.
but you're gonna go tonight. And then we're gonna see you tomorrow morning. And Mr. Heenan, you'll never, or maybe one day you'll understand it. I'm not doing it to be me. I don't want to lose you. And I know if I let you out of here, there's a good chance we're going to lose you.
Thank you.
Public cause conference will be adjourning. I'll just also call it a bond hearing. What is tomorrow, the 3rd? July 3rd, 2024 at 10 a.m. At this time, the bond is revoked. We'll reset it tomorrow. Thank you.
Prosecuting attorney, on behalf of people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jackie Mosfor on behalf of Mr. Henan, who is approaching.
Doing okay, Your Honor.
Okay. Where are we on this? Did we get any update on Bear River?
Your Honor, in regards to, pardon me, in regards to Bear River, yes, the update is Bear River can have Mr. Henan admitted within 24 to 48 hours. However, they would require the referral from CMH. That was not able to take place yesterday because CMH said they required an order from Your Honor before.
For CMH to evaluate him?
Yes. With that being said, my understanding is that in custody evaluations take place twice per week on Wednesdays and on Fridays. So if they received an order today, they could potentially get to him on Friday. If not, then it'll be into next week.
Okay.
With that being said, my position would be that where we left off yesterday, Your Honor was entertaining the idea of releasing Mr. Henan on a scram tether. If the court is inclined to do so at this time, upon release, Mr. Henan would be able to call the CMH hotline and immediately be evaluated. It's a 20 to 30-minute phone interview process, and then Mr. Henan could continue with the admittance process with either Bear River or Mr. Henan did mention another facility, Liberty Treatment, which is in Fayette, Michigan, Your Honor.
People have a position on this?
Your Honor, ultimately, I think we would defer to the court's discretion. The people really want to make sure that Mr. Henan gets into treatment as soon as possible. I just ask that we set him up for success as best we can. So if we are going to release him on a scram, I ask that counsel help him get situated with making that call to CMH so that he's not left on his own to do that without any assistance in case he needs it.
I would definitely be willing to do so, Your Honor. And one other thing I wanted to apprise the court, there are a few matters that Mr. Henan would need to get in order in terms of personal affairs, primarily his rent, and actually more importantly, as a part of the settlement agreement in his divorce, he's ordered to pay the tuition for his son's private school. That payment is due on or before July 10th. Mr. Henan does not have his credit card information with him. All of that is at home. So in order to be able to comply with that, that is another reason that we are asking that Mr. Henan be allowed to scram tether.
Mr. Henan, when you're out, who helps with just your support around you? I mean, what other people are around you?
I don't have much support, just AA.
And that you've been doing via Zoom?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, because here's part of my issue. Counsel's going to only be able to take you so far. So yeah, get you out, get the call made, but then you're there. And I understand that you've got the tether on, you would have the scram unit on, but all that may tell me is that you're gonna that you drank. I'm just real concerned. I mean, I'm just gonna be blunt about it. I don't know how you make it, even if for a day or two. I just don't know how you make it. That's my problem. And I think you know that too. Am I right?
Your Honor, I can do this. I can do it. I know I can.
And I want to believe you. I'm not sure I do.
I'm having a hard time here. I don't ever want to come back to jail. I'm not a bad person.
Hey, Shane, so that you understand, I don't think that you're a bad person either. I just don't. I mean, I'm more worried about you and what you do. That talk we had yesterday, I was kind of making that clear to you. That I'll be honest with you, I don't want you dying. That's what because eventually you're going to run out of opportunity and chances. And what weighs heavily on me, given what we went through that you past few days, is I could let you out on a scram tether and I never get you back.
For what it's worth, Your Honor, I did have a very frank and blunt conversation with Mr. Henan and informed him that if the scram tether did indicate that there was consumption of alcohol, Mr. Henan would very likely remain in custody for the pendency of his case.
Here's what I'm going to do. And you're not going to like it, Mr. Henan, but I'm making the call. You're not going anywhere. I'll sign the order. He'll get assessed on Friday. And we're going to get you up to Bear River and start this process. We'll have to somehow or another figure out a way you'll be able to have your credit card at some point and get some information so that you can get that tuition paid and find a way to get your rent paid. But all of that, it's important. Those are important issues, but all of that pales in comparison to where this could be. Mr. Henan, how'd you get here yesterday?
I drove, Your Honor.
Yeah. And I'm letting you know that that factors into my decision because, Mr. Henan, by the time we got to you and you didn't drink while you were here, you were a 0.10. By the time we got you over to community corrections, and you had already been here a while. It's that behavior that, and again, I'm not saying that you're a bad person, but your inability to make a proper judgment on that leads me to the conclusion that I have to keep you right where you are, get an order, get CMH to talk to you, and get you into treatment. So that's what I'm going to do. And counsel, somebody will need to prepare an order for the court signature to use that because I don't. And I will sign it and we'll get it there. So at this point, I'm just going to continue your bond as revoked. I'm not going to even set an amount at this point. And I will adjourn the probable cause out. Okay, why don't I do this so that, again, we don't lose track? I'll set it for the 11th.
Okay.
2024 at 9. And then if there becomes an issue, we can get to the prosecutor. We can step to do something else. Anything further?
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
All right.
This case isn't just about a man versus the law. It's about a man versus himself. Today, inside a Michigan courtroom, Judge Jackie Mosfor faces Peter Henan, a man whose life has spiraled into broken promises, failed treatment, and desperate excuses. You're about to witness shocking admissions, tense legal maneuvers, and a judge who refuses to let denial win. Will Peter's pleas for freedom save him, or will the court step in to protect him from himself? Stay locked in, because this hearing takes turns you won't believe. What we just witnessed is more than a courtroom drama. It's the raw, unfiltered collision between addiction, accountability, and the justice system. From the very beginning, tension was clear. Peter Henan faced the court with failed alcohol tests, diluted drug screens, and contradictions in his rehab story. The judge's sharp questioning revealed the heartbreaking tug-of-war between Peter's intention to recover and his inability to stay sober. The most critical moment came when Peter admitted that, despite treatment and prescriptions, he relapsed the night before court. His description of drinking until his hands stopped shaking painted a vivid picture of dependency. For a judge, this admission left little room for risk. Do you protect the community or protect the man from himself? Judge Mosfor's decision to revoke bond wasn't punishment. It was protection, rooted in foresight. We also saw the defense propose alternatives: scram tethers, outpatient care, AA meetings. But as the judge pointed out, technology can't save someone already drowning in relapse. A tether records the fall. It doesn't prevent it. Emotionally, Peter's story reflects how divorce, custody battles, and job loss can fuel relapse. Even after 16 years of sobriety, his collapse shows how fragile recovery can be under immense pressure. Addiction isn't cured by willpower. It requires ACO, untability, structure, and professional treatment, none of which Peter secured after rehab. Legally, this case shows the role judges play beyond the law. Judge Mosfor wasn't punishing, she was safeguarding. Her words made it clear. She didn't see Peter as a bad person, but she couldn't ignore the danger of letting him go free. So what's the takeaway? Courtrooms aren't always about guilt or innocence. Sometimes they're about life or death. When all other safety nets fail, the justice system becomes the last line of defense. And in this case, it stepped in to give Peter a chance. Not at freedom, but at survival. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Judge Mosfor made the right call by revoking bond? Or should Peter have been given one more chance? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more real courtroom moments that reveal the truth behind the law.